Today, the British government have once again shown a very clear, blatant disregard for the people who live here, for our peace process, but most importantly for the victims and survivors of the conflict. These are people who have campaigned, in some cases for up to 5 decades, for access to truth and to justice and to investigations into the loss of their loved ones. I think that once again today the British government have set out their statement of intent, and it goes right to the highest echelons of government, because it begs the question why they're doing this, particularly given the fact that all the 5 political parties here are opposed to an amnesty. All the victims and survivors groups are opposed to an amnesty, and also, as is the Irish government, opposed to an amnesty. So you have to ask the question, why are the British government intent in taking this route? And it has to be to do 2 things in my mind. It has to be to protect state forces and their dirty role here in Ireland. And I think it also has to be to protect those in suits who directed British state murder of Irish citizens over many decades here. So that's what the intention is, and this does nothing to serve the needs and the interests of the victims and survivors. I think the British government have clearly set out to bring forward legislation which one of the victims groups today described as the mother of all cover-ups. I think that is exactly what that describes what they've done today. So the 5 parties are united against an amnesty, as is the Irish government and as is the victims and survivors groups. These victims and survivors have had to go to the streets on many occasions. They've been fought at every turn by the British government because they're deliberately trying to cover up what they did here. So I think it's time for us all to work together to make sure that the message is heard loud and clear. This is not acceptable. We need to get back to the Stormont House Agreement. That was what was politically agreed. It's an international agreement. It must be upheld, and the British government can't be allowed to get away with unilaterally deciding to take another route, which is about protecting what they did here in the conflict.